morning. Hey. Welcome to Tree of Life Unitarian Universalist Congregation. My name is Mary McClelland, and I am your worship leader this morning. While I read this morning's announcements, please take this opportunity to silence your electronic devices. For today's special service, we invite you to share your joys and concerns on the whiteboard outside the entrance to the sanctuary. What you share will be posted in this week's newsletter unless you tell the office you would not like it to be posted. After the service, everyone is invited to stay for potluck lunch, ice cream sundaes, and a magic show starring the amazing Kevin Sarnwick. The magic show will begin here in the sanctuary at 1:45. Don't worry if you didn't bring a dish, there's always more than enough to go around. Our next open mic night will be Saturday, August 19th. Lisa Campagnolo is signing up musicians in all genres, poets and spoken word artists, magicians and novelty acts. Let Lisa know if you want to be on the list. Everyone is welcome to attend this event. There'll be coffee and light refreshments. It's free. And of course, we'll ask for a free will offering if it so strikes you. Mark your calendar to be entertained and raise much needed funds for our homeless support program, Compassion for Campers. That's Wednesday, August 30th, 6 to 9 p.m. at Crystal Lake Brewery in Crystal Lake. 6 to 9 p.m.
No, it's August. Isn't it August, not September?
Thank you, team. That's Wednesday, August 30th, 6 to 9 p.m. Details are in the newsletter and on Breeze events. You can help by contacting Patrick Murfin or Gloria Van Hoff. Ted Fun is collecting items to be raffled off. You can also see him today at our potluck. And he's an usher today. Thank you, Ted. Starting Wednesday, September 6th, things are going to get messy here at Tree of Life. We are introducing Messy Church. Wednesday evenings will start with a no-stress potluck. Think leftovers. We'll have a short, active worship service around our Soul Matters theme and around nature, and that will all be followed by lots of arts and crafts for all ages. See Heather Madaus for more information or read about it in our newsletter. And for information on all the interesting and inspiring activities at Tree of Life, you can get our weekly newsletter, The Happenings. Subscribe to it by following the link in the chat if you're with us online, or by signing up at the visitor table, or finding it on our website under the News tab. And finally, we want to get to know you and answer your questions. If you are new to Tree of Life, we hope you will fill out a visitor card. Join us after the service today for potluck, ice cream, and magic. And of course, we could use some help cleaning up, so pitch in, if you're so inclined. We welcome all who have joined us this morning, and so begin our service. We begin our time together by acknowledging that Tree of Life stands upon the unceded territory of the Peoria, Potawatomi, Miamia, Okchekisakawan, Ho-Chunk, and Kiikapoy peoples. Today, our meeting place in Illinois is still home to many indigenous people, and we are grateful to have the opportunity to gather on this land. How many households do we have joining us online today?
We have 9 households online.
Thank you, Mark. And I don't know our number in the sanctuary, but it's 42. Fabulous. It's great to have you all here. Our service today will feature readings from multiple sources presented by treasured Tree of Life congregants. Today, we decorate our flower wheel as part of our worship. If you would like to participate, come on up. Choose a flower to decorate the wheel. Everyone is invited to take part. I know it's scary to walk up front, but I think you can kind of tell we're an informal bunch, so please feel good about stepping up and putting a flower in the wheel. For many years, decorating the wheel was part of our tradition when we had an annual worship in a barn. Not surprisingly, we called it our barn service. And like today's celebration, it was almost always coupled with a picnic. As we gather today, we begin a new tradition without the barn, and we're going to call it our flower wheel service. It's important for us to include our online guests as well. As I read the names of those who are with us virtually, Andrew will place flowers on the wheel for you. So joining us today online, we have John Murphy, Azinia, nice, Lisa C., some echinacea, or purple coneflower, Lori, a hydrangea for Lori, Michelle, a sunflower for Michelle, Sandra, some blooming hostas. Wonderful, thank you, Andra. Now we're all together. We'll now call each other into community as Lilith, Ron, and Emmy lead us in a round singing of hymn number 188, Come, Come, Whoever You Are.
Alrighty, so we're going to divide. I will take this row, back. Emmy, do you want front left? And Ron, how about front right? Okay. So we're going to start it. We're all going to sing it together once, then back focus with me. We're going to be nice and loud. We're going to start it again, then Emmy, then Ron. All right, so we have.
While Mary Ernest reads our chalice lighting words, you're invited to light your own chalice at home.
This is Faith in Summer by Ellen Hamilton. In faith together we light this small scrap of light, symbol of Grandfather Sun's enormous power, whose energy burns so brightly in these days of deep summer, catapulting the leaves and vines, vegetables, flowers, and fruits to astonishing size, lengths, and heights, spilling over the tops of cages, walls, and trellises, delighting and nourishing all beings. We bask in the warmth and the heat of these days with lightened hearts and quickened senses in gratitude and in faith.
Good morning. My name is Andra Galicia, and it's my pleasure to deliver today's call to worship. Today we are celebrating a tree in the circle of life, and so we open our hearts to our relationship with trees, circles, and life. Symbols for the circle of life were already prevalent in ancient Egypt, and throughout history, many religions have used the symbol to symbolize the sacred, unity, completeness, infinity and eternity, protection, perfection, holiness, and divine oneness are some of the meanings that circles continue to represent even today. One circle of life is now before us in the beauty of the flower wheel, created by the hands of our Tree of Life community. And this circle now calls us to this sacred moment we share. Today, we will also use the tree as a metaphor for both our community and the tree as life that grows within each of us. One Chinese proverb says, "The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now." So now is the time we gather to recognize and nurture our tree and its communal embrace that supports and holds us. Now is the moment we honor the miracle of life that we share, our circle of life. Today is the opportunity to hold life and community with joy and reverence. Let us come together in unity and celebration. Let us worship together. Lilith will now lead us in singing hymn number 123, Spirit of Life.
Good morning, everyone. It is my very great privilege and delight to be sharing with you today a story for all ages. This is called The Blessing Seed by Caitlin Matthews, lightly adapted for consumption by UUs. In the beginning, God sang everything alive. God sang the sky, the land, and the seas, the plants and trees, the moon, the sun, and the stars. God sang animals to live in the water and in the sky and on the earth. Then God, mother and father of all, sang of people. God said to them, "This earth is your garden. The rocks, plants, trees, and animals are your family. Go and explore your home." The people thanked God. They greeted every stone, plant, tree, and animal. They learned what each living thing could do. When they found a tall tree in the middle of the garden with 4 paths leading away from it, they asked, "What is this for?" And God answered, "This is the tree of life, and on it grows the fruit of knowledge. But the fruit isn't ripe yet, so you mustn't eat it. The 4 paths are a way to explore this world, and when the fruit is ripe, you will be able to explore them all." And then the people said to God, "Everyone in the garden has their special gift. The squirrel can jump, the snail can crawl, the bird can fly. What is our special gift?" And God said, "In all the world, you are most like me, and you have a special duty, for you will care for everything on the earth. Your special gift is to learn and to care." "And how will we do that?" they asked. And God said, "Listen for the song that I sang at the beginning. My song is in everything, and it will help you to learn and to care." And so the people listened to the song of the tree of life. It sang a song of laughter, of tears, of beginning, and of coming home. And then they thought, maybe we will better understand our special gift if we eat of the fruit. And so they tasted it. It was sweet and bitter. It was soft and sharp. And as they swallowed it, things began to change. The birds and trees and animals seemed far, far away. They felt different, frightened. "Why do the animals run from us?" they cried. God came to them that evening and said, "You are frightened and upset. Have you eaten from the fruit of the tree of life?" "We did," they answered. "And now the animals hide from us. We don't understand what is different. We only ate because we wanted to discover our special gift." And God smiled and said, "I made mountains and trees to last forever, flowers and animals for beauty. I made birds, fish, and animals for their many gifts. But I made human beings for their longing to know. It is time for you to explore your 4 paths. They are called the path of wonder, the path of emptiness, the path of making, and the path of coming home. On the path of wonder, you will remember when you were sung from the earth, when you see the moon and stars at night, or the sun sparkling on the water, when you hear the birds singing in the tree, or hear the song of creation. Then the gift of caring will be born to you. On the path of emptiness, you will remember when you ate the fruit and felt frightened and different. When things go wrong, when you lose the things you love, when you feel sad, lonely, or frightened, then the gift of learning will be born to you. On the path of making, you will remember the song that is inside of you. When you have good ideas, when you make something beautiful, when you tell stories and sing my song, then the gifts of learning and caring will begin to grow. And on the path of coming home, you will remember that you are a part of everything. When you look after the earth, when you defend the helpless, when you speak for those who have no voice, when you enjoy and respect my creation, then will you be most like me. Your learning and caring will shine out everywhere. "But must we leave you?" cried the people. "Must we leave our home and all we love?" "No," said God. "Everything I have made is your family, and I will always be with you on your journey." "Will we really find the gift of learning and caring?" asked the people. "Oh, yes," said God. "For although you ate of the fruit of the tree of life before it was ripe, the seed of learning and caring will still grow inside of you." And God blessed them, saying, "I will ripen your gift as you walk the paths of light. Your gift will be a blessing seed, and it will leap from your hearts into the hearts of others. Go now and spread my blessing throughout the earth. The people thanked God, and then they walked out into the wide world. Thank you.
The following reflection on the Tree of Life is excerpted from a sermon by Kirk Lodeman Copeland. The Tree of Life is an ancient symbol for the circle of life in nearly every culture and religion, with branches reaching skyward and roots deep in the earth. The tree connects the heavens with the underworld. In Jewish and Christian myth, the tree is at the center of the drama within the Garden of Eden. In Old Norse mythology, Yggdrasil is the mythical tree that connected the 9 worlds of Norse cosmology. In ancient Egypt, the holy sycamore stood at the threshold of life and death, connecting 2 worlds. The goddesses Nut and Hathor were each called the Lady of Sycamore and were often depicted reaching out from the tree to offer food and water to the deceased. For the Maya in Central America, the Yaxche tree was the tree of life, whose branches supported the heavens. A Yaxche could be found in the center of most villages in pre-Columbian Mesoamerica. The Buddha achieved enlightenment while meditating under the Bodhi tree. All of these stories illustrate the key role played by the Tree of Life as it's related to the circle of life in the human imagination. Sometimes these archetypes in the world's mythologies extend to our popular culture and are incorporated into the stories of movies and novels. And sometimes the Tree of Life is also referred to as the Tree of Wisdom. And yet, a tree is just a tree, except when it is not. Our own Tree of Life also has its name rooted in the power of myth. Through this name, we are called to remember our connection to the earth. Through this name, we're reminded of our connection to life as well. As we become more deeply connected to those around us, the name is no longer just a name. Tree of Life becomes the roots and branches of our identity as we become bound together in community. Please rise in body or spirit as Lilith now leads us in singing hymn number 1051, We Are.
For each child that's born, the morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, the morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. We
be seated. I'm Ron Relic. Let's reflect on how trees offer us lessons. Lessons that are mirrored in the ideals and aspirations of our lives. So this is from Matt Hiscox. Trees are strong, but flexible. There are thousands of different types of trees with a myriad of unique, special qualities, shapes, sizes, and yet they are all, with few exceptions, strong, well-grounded, and flexible. They are patient. Most trees take years and years to grow to maturity, yet they do it fastidiously, patiently, and peacefully. Although they are rooted to the same spot, they watch over the changes in the landscape. They never complain and are there to offer food and a place to rest, and they extend shelter to all. They stand alone, but are all connected. Although they appear on the surface to stand alone, in reality, they're connected underground, not just to other plants and organisms, but to the earth itself. These vast networks form huge symbiotic organisms that sustain and support each other. Trees adapt to their surroundings and the seasons. Although trees cannot move as freely as we can, nor put on extra layers when it gets cold, they are still able to adapt to their environment incredibly well. They have a timeless beauty and wisdom. Regardless of their age, trees always remain beautiful, colorful, and interesting. To my mind, they seem to get even better as they mature. They support life. Trees not only absorb greenhouse gases, but just as importantly, they breathe out wonderful, life-giving oxygen, something absolutely fundamental to all us animals here on Earth. On top of that, they provide a dazzling array of tasty fruits, seeds, and nuts. Even in death, their wood can be turned into shelter and provide fuel for fires to heat and cook. They are survivors. Trees are one of the oldest forms of life on the planet. They were here long before mammals or even dinosaurs. Pretty much everywhere, they are a part of the landscape. They grow in hot places, cold places, wet places, dry places, high places, low places. They live in harmony with nature.
My name is Carol Alphys. This reading is excerpts from Trees by Hermann Hesse. Trees, for me, have always been the most compelling preachers. I worship and adore them when they live in families and tribes, in forests and grove, and even more when they stand alone. They are like solitary people, not hermits who've stolen away from society out of some weakness, but great lonely people like Beethoven or Nietzsche. The world rustles in their uppermost branches, their roots rest in the infinite, but they do not lose themselves in either. They work with all their strength of their lives within them, shaping their own form, becoming their own selves. Nothing is more sacred, nothing more exemplary than a strong, beautiful tree. Trees are sanctuaries. Whoever knows how to speak to them, whoever knows how to listen to them, can learn the truth. They do not preach learning and precepts. They preach the ancient law of life. A tree says, a kernel is hidden in me, a spark, a thought. I am life from eternal life. The attempt and the risk that the eternal mother took with me is unique. Unique the form and veins of my skin, unique the smallest play of my leaves and my branches, and the smallest scar on my bark. I was made to form and reveal the eternal in my smallest special detail. A tree says, my strength is trust. I know nothing about my fathers. I know nothing about the 1,000 children that every year spring from me. I live out of the secret of my seed to the very end, and I care for nothing else. I trust that God is in me. I trust that my labor is holy, and out of this trust, I live. Those who have learned to listen to trees no longer want to be a tree. They do not yearn to be anything but what they are. That is home, and that is happiness. And now we have special music performed by Lilith Ransburg, The Circle of Life.
Than can ever be seen, more to do than can ever be done. There is far too much to take in here, more to find than can ever be found. But the sun rolling high through the sapphire sky creeps great and small on the endless round. It's the circle of life, and it rules us all through despair and hope, through faith and love, till we find our place on the path unwinding. It's the circle of It's the circle of life, and it rules us all through despair and hope, through faith and love, till we find our place on the path unwinding. It's the circle
Thank you, Victor and Lilith. Wow. That one gets me every time. I'd like to read for you The Stream of Life by Rabindranath Tagore. The same stream of life that runs through my veins night and day runs through the world and dances in rhythmic measures. It is the same life that shoots in joy through the dust of the earth in numberless blades of grass and breaks into tumultuous waves of leaves and flowers. It is the same life that is rocked in the ocean cradle of birth and of death in ebb and flow. I feel my limbs are made glorious by the touch of this world of life, and my pride is from the life throb of ages dancing in my blood this moment.
Community Means Strength by Starhawk. We are all longing to go home to some place we have never been, a place half remembered, half envisioned. We can only catch glimpses from time to time. Community. Somewhere there are people to whom we can speak with passion without having the words catch in our throat. Somewhere a circle of hands will open to receive us. Eyes will light up when we enter. Voices will celebrate it with us whenever we come into our own power. Community means strength that joins our strength to do the work that needs to be done. Arms to hold us when we falter. A circle of healing. A circle of friends. Someplace where we can be free. Please rise in body or spirit as you are able and join in singing Wo Ya Ya, number 1020.
Each week, our offering supports the work of this congregation in our lives, in our communities, and in the world. As is our custom, on the second Sunday of the month, we donate our non-pledge offering to an organization whose work reflects our Unitarian Universalist values. This month, it is Chalice House. We welcome Laura Mandel to tell us about the work they do.
Good morning. Thank you for having me today. My name is Laura Mandel. I've been a member of Countryside Church, Unitarian Universalist in Palatine for over 20 years. I had to pause when I looked at that number, writing this. I'm happy to visit you today, and I want to thank Sue and Patrick and the whole social justice team for keeping us on your radar, and I think this is the third time I've had the opportunity to tell you a little bit about Chalice House. It's a shared project between Countryside, our community partners, the Illinois Community for Detained Immigrants, which you are probably familiar with, ICDI, and a whole lot of individuals. Together, we're providing temporary housing for people who are in the country legally seeking asylum in the United States. Physically speaking, Chalice House is located in Palatine next to our church. Our current guests, it's our second family, is a family of three, Vicky, Marlon, and Angel, who are here from Colombia, and a young man nicknamed Berlin, who's here from Guatemala. They will live there for about a year until they receive their work permits from the U.S. government and are able to live independently. Vicky and Marlon and Angel had a particularly tough time with U.S. immigration when they arrived. It was about 18 months ago now. When they turned themselves in at the border after crossing the Rio Grande, they were separated from each other and from their son, Angel. They had to live in separate facilities for about 9 months before Heartland referred them to us. All arrived at Chalice House within a few weeks of each other around Christmas time of last year. Taking Marlon to see his son for the first time after 9 months of separation is something I will never forget. And Vicky arrived shortly after that. They're all doing great now. They're learning the language, mowing the lawn, playing soccer. They had a chance to attend a soccer game, international soccer game. They don't call it Major League, but you know what I mean, at Soldier Field, in celebration of Angel's 10th birthday just last week. They're also preparing to work and still waiting for their work permits, which you may know takes about 6 to 9 months. But Chalice House is so much more than a home. It's a community, and it is faith in action, and I want to thank you for being part of it. In addition to providing housing, Countryside and our partners like you provide mentorship and support, including helping the family connect with their community, find employment, practice English, and adjust to life here in the United States. The program provides educational, skill development, and entertainment opportunities for our residents, such as driving lessons, park district fees, and visits to the Botanic Garden, to Sue's farm a few years ago, and other things like that. And our partner, ICDI, provides social services. A caseworker helps them navigate applying for public aid and that sort of thing. We built the Chalice House model with ICDI and have made a few changes along the way, and I am so proud to tell you today that the program is not only thriving, but it's actually being replicated by ICDI around Chicagoland. They're trying to create this same model of housing for other immigrants. And we've also had the opportunity to talk with Viator House, with the UUSC, the Unitarian Universalist Service Committee program, with the international organizations Save the Children, and the United Nations High Commission for Refugees. So people are paying attention to this new community-based type of program. I don't think I have to tell you anything at all about how great the need for housing is for migrants. The problem can feel overwhelming, for sure, but I call Chalice House my starfish project. It's a way for each of us to have a personal impact on a big systemic problem. And through your donations, you too are having a very direct, personal, and important impact. You are building the beloved community with us. If you'd like to visit Chalice House, we're having a garden party next Saturday. Sue is planning to go, and others might be as well. If you'd like to get more information about that, you'd be welcome to do that. It's in the afternoon of next Saturday. And I'll be happy to answer any other questions you might have after the service. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. All unidentified cash offerings today will benefit Chalice House. Please write Second Sunday on any check you wish to donate to this cause. For those in the sanctuary today, please place your offering in the plate. But if you're new to Tree of Life or a visitor, an offering is not expected. Your presence here is your gift to us. Online, you can make your offering by texting us at 815-332-0643 or by clicking on the link in today's chat. Or you can send a check to us here at the building, 5603 Bull Valley Road in McHenry. Our zip code is 60050. Your generosity to Tree of Life is greatly appreciated. As always, we give thanks for these gifts and all the gifts that you bring. Now we'll have a word from Judy Stetner.
So on behalf of the Tree of Life Membership Development Committee, I have the pleasure to present this quarter's Knock Your Socks Off Award. This award is given to a member or members of the congregation who are showing up in amazing ways for the congregation. Recommendations are made by staff and decided upon by the membership committee. This quarter, we are awarding 2 members with this honor. Our first recipient signed our membership book just 10 months ago and is already serving on the fundraising committee. The worship arts committee, is the church's brewmaster, coffee that is, and treat wrangler, and is serving on the board as a trustee. Please join me in congratulating Mary McClellan, today's worship leader. Our second recipient is also a member moving at warp speed. She signed our membership book only 8 months ago after graduating from our Inquirers program, which is quite an accomplishment. She has joined the caring committee and is a frequent hospital visitor. She participates in book club and mindfulness practice. You've also gotten to hear her today as a member of the worship arts team. Please join me in congratulating Andra Galicia. Our sanctuary is quite a bit fuller today than usual because many of you stepped out of your comfort zone and invited friends and family to join you here today. And the membership committee wants to award you with this UU bumper sticker to the person who has invited the most guests today. So if you brought any guests today, please come see me and let me know how many. And at the end of our magic show today, this afternoon, I will present the winner with the UU bumper sticker.
Hi, my name is Sammy Tanabe, and I will lead our centering. So may we come together in an attitude of prayer or meditation. The words of our centering are called Sacred Space and were written by Mountain Heart. We have come together to form a community of kindred spirits, to make interconnections with the earth and all her life, of which we are a part. We gather to rediscover our tribal roots and to celebrate the dances of life
for we are all dancers who have perhaps forgotten the steps that we knew as children, but we crave the dance in our deepest being. We join together to feel our hearts beat, to know they are part of the pulse of the earth. We gather to share our breath, to breathe the air that is the breath of the earth, the breath of our grandfathers and grandmothers. We gather to share the warmth of the fire of life, which comes within us all, and with it we feel the tidal rhythms of the oceanic blood coursing through our veins. We join with each other to affirm the goodness, the sacredness of our bodies, and to celebrate our natural good wildness. We come together to nurture each other and to nurture our earth, who nurtures us. We meet in a circle and look at each other's faces, because that is where we find
Hi, guys.
circle, and look into each other's faces, because that is where we find God, in each other, in ourselves, in all of nature. Our living circle is a magic place where we discover the enchantment of childhood. It's a place of laughter and spontaneity, a joyfully sacred place where we are free to explore our deepest feelings without fear of ridicule, where we can express joy, sorrow, fear, and imminent strength, where we can express our connectedness with each other and with all of life, all the universe, where we can express wonder at the great mystery of ourselves, the cosmos, the cycles of being. We express ourselves through every creativity or just by being alive. Our circle is open, but not unbroken. For all life can be found within. May it be so. May we take part in making it so. Amen. Now please rise in body or spirit for our closing hymn, number 1064. Is it coming up? I was right. It's 1064, Blue Boat Home.
We extinguish this flame of communal worship and now carry its light within us.
May we carry this sacred time with us as we leave the sanctuary. Sometime today, during our celebration, take time to take note of the joys and concerns that have been shared on the board outside the sanctuary. We are called to actively live with our connection to each other and the earth. And now, go in peace, go in love. Live well together.